Hello, hope you're doing great. This is Lori Starkey. I'm so glad you're here for checking out my channel, or for if you've returned, that's awesome. Congrats to coming back to the crazy. I am doing my vlog today for the start of week 4 on my keto journey. I've made it through week 3. Can you believe it? And it's actually been a really good week this last week. Tried a bunch more recipes. Juggled all the good videos that we wanted to do for you guys as we were working on the restaurant that we're working on, and I had a book release. So it's been a really big, busy week for us, but this is the start of week 4, and I am super looking forward to it. I definitely lost more weight than I thought I was going to during week 3. Like I said in my video last week, because every Monday I do kind of an update on the week before. My video last week, I kind of talked about the fact that week 2 is always the hardest for me on any diet. I don't know if you can give me an amen on that, but always the hardest, week 2. And then week 3 sometimes picks back up, but I've usually quit by then. So I'm really excited at the fact that I made it all the way through. I haven't, I don't necessarily want to say I haven't cheated. I haven't, but I don't want to use that word. I'm thinking more like I didn't step off of the eating plan that I've decided makes me feel best, which is to be high fat and low carb, keto, to be on the keto lifestyle. So some of the things that I kind of wanted to look at from the last week with you guys, just in a week in review, was, first of all, I lost more weight than I thought I was going to. So I will share that at the end. That was super exciting, and I'll tell you the funny story that goes with it. But also just some tips and tricks. I was making stuffed bell peppers this last week, which you will, well, you've already seen the video. I was like, wait, that's already come out. So the video's already out. You can totally check that out here if you want to. It was delicious. And I actually, while I was making the stuffing, I pulled some of it out and put it kind of to the side. So I just want to give you that tip and trick. It's on that same video too, but if you're making something for dinner or lunch, or if you're actually batch cooking or meal prepping, save a little bit of something that looks like it might be good in your eggs. So if you want to do a scramble or an omelet, just put some of that aside from dinner, and don't wait for the leftovers just in case everybody inhales it. So like when we have chicken fajitas, beef fajitas, or we do stuffed bell peppers or stuffed mushrooms, I'll put like a little cup of it aside, the center of the stuffing. And then I'll have it in my breakfast instead of having bacon and eggs, or ham and eggs, or sausage and eggs, which is all still super freaking delicious. So I did that this last week. I put some of the stuffed bell pepper stuff to the side on Tuesday, I think, and then I ate it Friday morning in my scramble, and it was delicious. So just think about that as you're doing your stuff. You could meal prep and you didn't even know you were doing it. Some of the new recipes that we tried this week were, I tried a cheeseburger pie, which was delicious, added pickles to it. You'll get to see those recipes as well. I made keto magic cookies, which look like hell, but tasted like heaven. Oh my God, I must be a fiction writer coming up with that stuff. That was terrible. Like I said, stuffed bell peppers. I also we did fried zucchini. My parents have a huge garden, and so we sliced it up and figured out a way to use coconut flour. And we fried it up and had it with ranch, and it was fantastic. And then lastly, I made, one night we had a family event, and it was probably Saturday. We had a big family event, which I did film for you guys to see. You see my crazy ass family. But I filmed that, and we had a ton of meat. My mom made all kinds of great meat, and then some side dishes that were awesome too. I ate a lot of meat. I was careful with my protein though. I actually tracked before I started eating just to make sure I wasn't going to be like protein-orific. So that night though, when we got home, because we ate at like 11, and that night we got home, no one was hungry, right? My mom cooks massive meals, and so everybody was kind of full, but I knew that I needed to eat something. I'd only had about 700 calories, which was way too low. I try to stick between 1,200 and 1,600, and yes, I do look at my calories. I am on keto, and I am tracking my net carbs a day. Those are my most important, right? My net carbs a day. But I am watching my calories too, because like I am super in it to win it. I want this to go as quickly as I can, not because I'm going to get off of it at the end, just because I want to feel better. I want to feel like my weight's not like the last inhibitor to me truly feeling free and alive and all the things I want to do. All the things I want to be and do. So anyways, that night we get home, and I need something to eat, and I needed to be a fat meal. I'd had enough carbs for the day. So I got 3 pieces of cheese, just the square pieces of cheese that you get from, if you're going to put on a hamburger sandwich. And I had Munster, and I put them, I sprayed a pan and I put them in the oven at 350 for maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. I watched them with a light on the oven, kind of like a creeper. I was watching very carefully to make sure when the cheese melted and the edge got kind of brown on the square cheese, I pulled it out. And then I put a sausage in the middle and rolled it up almost like a little taquito. And I assume you could roll it up with ham, you could roll it up with steak or chicken or anything you wanted. You could put an avocado in there if you wanted a slice. You could totally roll it up. But when the cheese comes out of the oven on the pan, you have to let it sit for a few minutes to where it's not just ooey gooey mess. But you can start to pull up the edge and you'll see that it stays in its square, but now it's soft and you can just roll it. And so I just ate those like little taquitos. I do not have that on a recipe video yet, but maybe in the future I'll add that to something like quick and easy, almost dirty keto type food, right? So I made those little sausage roll-ups and they were fantastic. I'll be doing that again when I need something for just me to eat. So one thing I did after week 1, I lost 4 pounds in week 1, and at the end of week 2 I lost 2 more pounds for a total of 6 pounds down, which was great. But I also wanted to get my measurements because I could see in the pictures that are on my thumbnails that some of the bloat was going away and that maybe my inches were moving too. And I thought, what a great way to tell that things are moving along is to go ahead and do my inches. So at the beginning of week 2, or the beginning of week 3, I did my inches. So right now would be the first time I would check my inches, which I'm going to share with you guys. Actually, over the last week and a half, my inches, I lost total inches. Let me see if I can get this out. Of 8.25 inches off my body. I thought that was fantastic. 8.25 inches off my body total. So I'll tell you where I lost it in case you're interested. I'm looking down at my notebook just real quick, but I lost nothing off my bust, which is good. Jacob was thrilled about that. I lost 1 inch off my thighs. I lost 0.75 inches off my neck, which I know is a weird place to measure, but it's kind of like, man, I know I have some extra fluff there. I lost 2.75 inches off of my waist, belly button, right where your belly button is, which is where I could really see the difference when I did my pictures, my 2-3 week ago pictures versus this one that I just took this morning. I lost 1.5 inches off my hips. And catch this craziness, I lost 2.25 inches off my arms, which my arms are a little bit bigger up the top. So that was really cool. So 8.25 inches all together. I thought that was just fantastic. So super big win there. That was awesome. So this week we ate out multiple times. I always love sharing that with you guys. I feel like obviously you're going to eat out. So if I can give you any tips or tricks when you go out to save you from having a hard time or deciding not to eat out, which would suck. Because like I said, food is totally celebration over here. We go out all the time. And so I'm always looking to make sure before we go, what can I have there? Because on keto, you could have, there's really not any restaurant that you can't go to. Now there's ones that is harder to go to, like I'm sure Italian food is harder to go to, and Mexican food has been super like hellacious to go to for me, but there's always something you can eat. So if you pre-plan, just realize that in the middle of this COVID stuff, that when you get there, it's highly likely that unless you checked the most recent menu, the menu will be changed. So just chill, tell the waiter you need a few minutes, take your time. Whoever's there with you, just let them know, like, I gotta look through this and make sure that I'm comfortable with what I'm eating. And then just know what you can and can't have on the keto lifestyle. And if you don't, do some research, figure out what it is that the keto lifestyle is all about, and put it in the notes on your phone so that you're like, oh, I can have some meat, I can have avocados and cheese, I can have nuts, I can have olives, I can have a small salad, I can have fatty dressings, I can have some vegetables, I just need to watch it. And yeah, and most desserts are probably off the table except maybe like some berries, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries. But just do your research, and then when you go, it's like, oh yeah, okay, now that the menu's changed and what I plan to have is not happening, I'm gonna improvise. It'll be okay, you'll get used to it. And then once you know what you eat at this one place, put it down in your notes or just put it in your memory bank. So we did a date day video, and I'll actually put that in the cards right here for you. a date day video, and we ended up going to another Broken Egg, which is a really great breakfast restaurant. That's not where we intended to go. So like my plans got jacked from the start, because the place I wanted to go, Milk and Honey in Nashville, Tennessee, which is freaking awesome. If you ever come down, you have to go to 12 South and try Milk and Honey. Their lattes are just, I don't know what they do, but they're so friggin' good. And so anyways, they were shut down for the day. Who knows why? But I didn't plan, and I walked up to the door. You'll see that in the video. I walked up to the door and wah, 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 you don't get to come in. So we went to another Broken Egg, and it was awesome. I had a supreme omelet, no onions, which has like mushrooms, sausage, ham, bacon, and probably 3 eggs in it. And then Jacob ate my toast and my fruit. You'll get to see that too. He looked like a carb beast. But that was a great breakfast. Omelets always are a great breakfast. Or if you did like a traditional breakfast, you would get like 2, 3, 4 pieces of bacon or sausage or ham and 2 or 3 eggs. And then if they have avocado, get it. If they have a small salad, they serve, like First Watch here in Tennessee does. They serve a little salad with your breakfast. Get it. The fruit, forget about it. Any of the breads, forget about it. I would just pass on all that stuff. We also went to a steakhouse. That is going to be in my day in the life of video, and I'll put that in the cards right here for you in case you're interested in seeing us at the steakhouse. That was a lot of fun. We went out as a family. I had a steak all by myself. I got 10 ounces, but funny enough, again, this is the second time this happened. I didn't need it. I only needed about 6 ounces, and I was just super full. And I started with the Caesar salad, which was delicious. I also went by Starbucks this week, and I got me, I ordered there a grande latte with heavy cream and 2 Splendas. And I know some people are rowdy about Splenda, but you can just be as rowdy as you want to. That's the best drink in the whole entire world. I don't drink Splenda at home. I drink stevia. I drink Splenda stevia, but I drink stevia at home, like on a regular basis. But at Starbucks, that grande latte with heavy cream and 2 Splendas, it will rock your world. Tastes like a hot milkshake. It is higher in carbs than I would like it to be, but it is definitely within my under 20 net grams for the day. It's well under that. So just make sure you're checking it out. Make sure you're comfortable with it. MyFitnessPal has all that stuff. It was right there when I went on to look for it, like somebody else is drinking my drink. All right, we also went to Carrabba's, which is an Italian grill. That place doesn't feel, it's one of my favorites, but it doesn't feel like it's true Italian food. Like they're not serving a bunch of pizzas and stuff, but they do have tons of pastas. But I got a Caesar salad, and Jacob ate some of the bread basket, and then we shared chicken marsala, which I thought might be a little high, but once I pulled up their menu and looked at the nutritional values, I just looked for the lowest carb item on the chicken menu, and then I looked for, you know, the fiber to see what the net carbs were, and I want to say the whole entire plate was like 2 net carbs and 440 calories, and we actually split it, which we shouldn't have because it wasn't enough food. And Jacob ate the broccoli that came with it because I'm not too fond of the broccoli the way they do it. But grilled chicken, broccoli, mushrooms, Caesar salad. I could have added tons of bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff, but again, I just did some research while we were sitting there drinking our Diet Cokes or our teas or whatever it was we had that day. Something I've mentioned several times too, but I just want to bring it up one more time, is that you don't have to eat if you're not hungry. Like, this is one of the best, most awesome things about being on this ketogenic lifestyle, is that there's going to be a lot of times that you're just not hungry. And guess what? You're not going to starve to death. Like, it takes quite a while of no food for someone to actually start starving, and you would see all of your fat start to deplete off of your body. Like, you're not going to starve if you let your body just have a break from digestion. You don't have to eat 3 meals a day. Like, that was something that man created, was to eat 3 meals a day. I'll do some research on that for us and kind of do maybe a Wednesday video or something that's more educational, because I was looking into it today, like, when did this shit start? Like, where you had to eat 3 meals a day, because it seems ridiculous. And there's a lot of history to it, obviously. Food historians have studied that ad nauseum. So I'll look into that and kind of report back to you guys, but you don't have to eat if you're not hungry. Like, if you're having a big family dinner, I've talked about this, you can eat if you feel like, okay, I'm socially obliged to do it, especially if you have some room left in your daily macros. But and macros are your fats and your carbs and your proteins, right? So if you have some room in there and you want to eat, then fine, eat. But if you're not hungry, you do not have to force yourself to sit down and eat. And the only other time I would say do eat, even if you're not hungry, is if you know you're going to be on a fast the next day, which I've talked about a little bit. So don't eat if you're not hungry. And I tried to do that this week. I tried to listen to that. So I haven't had lunch several times, or I haven't had breakfast. I've done the 16-8 fast, where you to where you only eat in an 8-hour window. So I'm only eating from like 1 to 8 at night, and that's 7 hours, and not even that. So just listen to your body. It's okay to listen to your body. Like, it doesn't have to be on some really weird, rigid schedule that, you know, somebody made up in the 1700s. Like, you can eat when you're hungry. Okay, so another thing is I have been really busy with just all of my companies, and then adding on this idea of doing the YouTubes, and I feel like anybody who knows me knows I don't do anything half-ass. I actually like go way over the top, and so we've been doing 5 videos a week. 5 videos a week for 3 weeks, and then I'm working on week 4 and 5 right now as we're speaking. So that, on top of all the other good stuff that we're doing, plus my writing schedule has been psychotic. So I needed a new energy source, which I've brought up a little bit, but I was looking for, I'd given up caffeine and coffee just because it made me feel kind of nasty in the morning. So I did that about 3 months ago. So I was looking for a new energy source, and I had been playing around with exogenous ketones just to kind of see how they made me feel, because they do help with appetite suppressant, and they absolutely start pumping ketones through your body, right? It's not necessarily put you into ketosis. It says it does, and it does. You get the benefits of ketosis, but it's not your body doing nutritional ketosis. But my point is, they're great for energy. And so I'd messed around a little bit with them, but I hadn't really gone all in. Well, this last week I did. And I cannot tell you the level of energy that I've had. Like, I have been looking for this type of energy my whole life. So where these things help you lose weight and help you with your appetite suppressant, that's fantastic. And of course that helps me on my journey. But the energy that they've given me has been unbelievably awesome. So I drank one at like 1 today, and then I had a call with my team. I have a team of about 10 to 15 people in one of my companies, and I had a call with them, and I had so much energy that I think I frightened them a little bit. And I don't feel jittery or shaky. I just feel like it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have energy like as if I had slept 9 hours, and then I'm jumping up ready for Christmas morning. Like, it's just crazy. So that has been awesome. I will be sticking to that. I'm super excited about it. One of the other things I was going to bring up, and this really goes back to the steakhouse thing, like, if you go out with people for dinner or for lunch or whatever, and they're going to order an appetizer, which they should be able to, right? I mean, the last thing I want to do is tell Jacob and Clayton, my husband and my son, like, I know we're out on this great family dinner, but you guys don't order an appetizer because I don't want to see it, or I don't want to eat it. Like, no, that ain't happening. So what I did instead is when they order an appetizer, I order a Caesar salad or a house salad with all the goodies on it. And I get my Caesar dressing, but I also ask for extra Caesar dressing, and I ask them to put a ton of bacon on it, because I want my salad to feel like super extravagant, so that when their spinach dip and chips come out, I'm not interested, because my salad is so delicious, and it has the extra things, not just a normal salad. Like, no, that ain't flying. Like, give me the extra dressing, give me some pecans on it, give me extra cheese, something that you normally would be like, there is no way I would order that because I'm behaving. No, like, have a party with your salad. And if that comes out while their appetizer comes out, like, that's a really smart move. That's just some strategy that you can use to make sure you don't inhale the appetizer too. Now, if you can have the appetizer because it's within your macros, or it's something that's totally keto friendly, heck, go for it. That's awesome. You know, bone-in buffalo wings with ranch, awesome, totally cool. But like, if you're dealing with like I was, chips and spinach dip, you need to get your salad first. That would help you quite a bit. The other thing that we did this week is my oldest, Caitlin, helped me open up our Keto-tastic community, which is going to be super awesome. It's a really great group already of ladies that are in there. We're sharing recipes. We're just trying to encourage each other. We're sharing life. We're talking about our wins on our weight loss and our struggles. So I would love for you to be a part of that if you're at all interested, if you need some more community. I know everybody thinks like another group, like, really, but yes, if you're on a weight loss journey and this is something you're interested in, this group is going to be super active, and we're going to be super intentional to be in there to help each other and to share anything that we have to share. So I'd love for you to join us on that. Again, it's the Keto-tastic community, and you can actually find down in the show notes the link to that. There's also a link to my VIP YouTube Insiders. Feel free to join that. It's a newsletter that's going to come out once a week, starting in the next couple of weeks, but it has the invite to the community group as well. So, dun 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 dun, where's the drum roll? So here's what happened. here's what happened. Okay, so here's what happened. I started my period about 4 or 5 days ago, and usually when I do, I mean, mine are terrible, and so I just felt like absolute crap. And I was at 205.6 1 week ago today when we were starting week 3, because remember, I'm now starting week 4 today. And so I was at 205.6, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to have a weight loss this week on week 3 because I'm on my period. I did really well. I stuck to all my macros. I tracked all week long. I drank my ketones. I did all the good stuff. I walked or worked out all week. But I was like, dude, this is going to suck. And so, let's see, last night, Sunday night, it's Monday right now. So last night I got on the scale and it was 204.6. I'd lost a pound. So I took a picture because I was like, man, if I get on the scale in the morning and I'm like 5 pounds heavier because of how much bloating I have during my period, I was like, you know, I just want to be able to put a picture out there that's still the same, around the same time, but had a weight loss. And then I thought, no, if I get on tomorrow morning on Monday morning and it sucks and I've like gained weight, I'm just gonna put that on there. Like, I just want to be super real and be like, no, I gained weight because I'm on my period, like, because I did everything else right. And this isn't a short-term thing. Like, I'm doing this for the long term, like here on out kind of thing. So anyways, wake up this morning, get on the scale. I'm like ready for like a 206, 205 point. I'm hoping it's at least 205.4, so I've lost a pound. Dude, it was totally 202.4. I couldn't believe it. 202.4. That's 3.2 pounds from last week while I'm on my period. 3.2 pounds. What do I attribute that to? Tracking, which I hate doing. It's better now. It's not that hard. I mean, I shouldn't even bitch about it, but tracking and following my calories and my macros. Like, you shouldn't have to do both. Well, you know what? You can or you can't. And if it doesn't, if you don't lose weight, then maybe you should just adjust your attitude like I've had to do. Like, adjust your attitude, hot pants. Like, let's figure out what's going to be the best way for you to lose a bunch of weight and get healthy and feel like you could just stomp all over the world in a good way. We wouldn't want to stomp all over the world in a bad way. Anyways, 3.2 pounds. I was completely stoked. So it has been 3 weeks. Yesterday was the end of 3 weeks on my journey, and I am down a total of 9 pounds in 3 weeks. I have 70 pounds to lose, so 9 pounds is like 12 to 13% of my weight loss done. I'm over 10% of where I want to be. I'm super excited. I hope some of that was helpful. If you have tips or tricks, or anything that you want to share, great advice, could you please do that down in the comments? I would really love to have more of a community than me just talking to a camera. That would be super freaking awesome. And if you like what we're up to, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button right there. You can hit that bell notification too to let you know when we upload new goodies. Every Monday I do a week in review. We've been trying to do Tuesdays and Thursdays for the food that we ate, the different recipes. This next week I actually got my husband to do a recipe for a keto cheesecake, and he did all the filming by himself, which he normally doesn't do. He's a recovering coach, and so he works in all our companies now. But it was really cute. I couldn't help but laugh throughout the whole things. And then on Wednesdays I usually try to do something a little more educational, or something I've learned or figured out, or a test taste of some various, like I've done ice creams and all kinds of fun stuff. And then on Fridays I do a day in the life of, which you get to kind of follow us around if you're interested in doing that and seeing this crazy wild ass life that we live, and kind of getting to see the food that we have as well. So I hope you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying it. It feels really good to just be sharing all of it. So please make sure you're sharing too in those comments. If you think somebody may like this, or this might be something that your sister, your mom, or your friend could benefit from, please send it over to them. I would love to expand the community in any way that we can, and come join us in the various groups, or jump on my newsletter, or connect in some way. Like I said, down in the show notes, there should be plenty of links for you to come and hang out with me, or get to know me better, or let me get to know you better. But for now, man, take hold of this. Like, if your attitude's in the way, do an attitude check. If your family or friends are in the way, you may want to just step back and think about that, and have some really good but hard conversations, because your health and my health, I mean, we have to put that first. There's only so far we're going to get to go in this life before our health becomes a really big issue, and then money can't buy health back. So I would just suggest you just put yourself in check, and those around you in check as best you can, and just stay positive and find really good people who care. and want to cheer you on and want to offer great community and support. If it's my group, great. If it's not my group, that's great too. Find those people though in your life and get connected and get hooked in, and go for the very best you that you know you're capable of going for, which is probably more than you think you're going for. But just stick to it and get after it. I'm cheering you on, and I know you're cheering me on too. So have a great week. See you later.